Suzanne Lyall was born in Saratoga Springs, New York in 1978, the youngest of Doug and Mary Lyall's 3 children. The family lived in nearby Ballston Spa. Her 2 older siblings described her as the darling of the family, a quiet, likeable girl. Suzanne showed a love for poetry as well as an early interest in computers, even building some from scratch. During her time at school, it was often reported that if a computer broke down, Suzanne would show them how to fix it. After Suzanne graduated from Ballston Spa High School with honours in 1996, she first attended the State University of New York. She then transferred to sunny Albany, since she felt the computer science courses were not challenging enough. Transferring to Albany brought her closer not only to her home, but to her boyfriend Richard Condon, a fellow student several years her senior, whom she had started dating when they were both still in high school. Lyall had 2 jobs off campus. One was at a computer company in Troy, the other at a Babbage's store in the Crossgates Mall. Lyall would call or email her parents and Condon almost daily. Mary Lyall recalls that the last time she actually spoke to her daughter on March the 1st, 1998, Suzanne had complained about being low on cash and waiting for her next paycheck. However, she declined her mother's offer to lend her some money in the interim. In late February 1998, Suzanne's manager at Babbage's recalled that she had been stressed about an upcoming midterm exam, which took place on the morning of March the 2nd. She attended other classes until 4 p.m, and after that she went to her job at Babbage's. Her manager described that she seemed somewhat subdued. She worked there until the store closed at 9 p.m. Suzanne then got on a bus going back to campus around 9:20 p.m. The driver who worked that route confirmed later that he had seen her board his bus. However, he was not certain that he had seen her get off at the Collins Circle stop on campus, a short walk from her dorm. He could only say with certainty that she was not on the bus when he reached the end of the route downtown. A friend of Susie's says she saw her get off the bus at approximately 9:45 p.m. Susie's boyfriend Richard Condon was waiting for her to call him from her dorm room, as she usually did when she finished work, but she failed to do so. Although he reportedly tried to call her several times, there was no answer. When there was still no sign of Susie the next morning, Condon called her parents. They were immediately worried. Susie's parents called the campus police to formally report her missing, and were told that brief absences were not uncommon for college students, so they should not worry, as it was likely that she would reappear soon. Despite assurances, the Lyalls did worry, as this behaviour was unlike their daughter. Susie was not a risk-taker. She didn't party or use alcohol or drugs. Her roommates later confirmed that Susie did not return to her dorm on the night of March the 2nd. The Lyalls later called Susie's bank, who informed them that their daughter's debit card had been used to withdraw $20 from an ATM at a Stewart's Shops convenience store in Albany at approximately 4 p.m. 2 days later. After Susie missed another midterm test as well as her other scheduled classes, the campus police accepted her disappearance was not a typical case of a missing undergraduate and called in the New York State Police for assistance. Flyers with Suzanne's picture were posted on campus and in the nearby area. In the first 2 weeks of the investigation, police looked into 270 leads and searched 300 acres near Collins Circle. The ATM withdrawal drew particular attention. The Stewart's, where it was located, had a security camera, but it focused on the area around the cashier and did not show the ATM. so it could not be determined who was using it at the time. A man who may have used the card at the time wore a Nike baseball cap and was sought as a possible witness or person of interest. Whoever had used the card knew the correct PIN. Condon said that only he and Suzanne knew it. She also always withdrew exactly $20 anytime she went to the ATM, according to her parents. Lyall's parents said that the stewards at the intersection of Central Avenue and Manning Boulevard was not in a part of the city that Suzanne visited. The clerk on duty at the time did not recognise her. The bank also told the Lyalls and police that their records showed that Susie's card was used to make 2 withdrawals from different ATMs on the day she disappeared. One had been in the morning at a machine near the Collins Circle bus stop, and the other was in the mall at about the time she would have arrived for work. Both had been for $20, so it seemed likely that she had made them. Mary Lyall, however, could not imagine why her daughter would have made 2 withdrawals in one day. Investigators pondered a connection to a similar disappearance of another sunny Albany undergraduate, Karen Louise Wilson, who had disappeared 13 years earlier near where Lyall had last been seen. They found no connection between the two. Based on the bus driver's uncertainty as to whether Susie had indeed disembarked at Collins Circle, police also began considering the possibility that she might never have returned to campus that night. Some investigators even theorised that she might not even have got on the bus at all. In May, her Babbage's name tag was found about 90 feet away from the bus stop, in the parking lot opposite from the direction she would have walked if returning to her dorm, but it could not be determined how long it had been there, and police could recover no forensic evidence from it. A co-worker of Susie's at the store later told investigators that Suzanne had told her about a month before she disappeared that she believed she was being stalked by someone she did not know. However, the co-worker also said Suzanne did not appear to be afraid of this person. Police have never been able entirely to rule out Condon as a suspect in her disappearance. Mary Lyall later told CBS News that her daughter had on several occasions tried to end the relationship, but after Condon became emotional, she would stay with him. After the disappearance, he told police that Suzanne was his fiancée, a development in their relationship the Lyalls said Suzanne, who called or emailed them almost daily, had not informed them of. Susie's boyfriend had an alibi for the time Susie disappeared. He was playing video games with a friend, and the friend confirmed this when asked by police. But after his initial conversations with police, Condon refused to take a lie detector test and told them he would only be interviewed again if his lawyer was present. He refused to answer questions from the media about the case in later years. His mother told CBS in 2010 that he had married and moved on with his life. In 2005, a man named John Regan, who was facing trial for a 1993 kidnapping in Connecticut, was arrested after trying to abduct a female student at Saratoga Springs High School by pulling her into his van from the street. Since Saratoga Springs is a short distance from Ballston Spa, the Lyalls' hometown, police and the family wondered if he might have been responsible for Susie's disappearance. Even after Regan was convicted of the attempted kidnapping in Saratoga, he refused to discuss the Lyall case with investigators. Doug Lyall sadly passed away in 2015. In 2018, New York State Police Senior Investigator John Camp said, "We believe it's a homicide. Is there a chance she moved away? It's a possibility, but the reality is she's probably been the victim of a homicide. Suzanne's case remains open, and the state police continue to follow up on any leads that come in.